Hello, welcome. How are we doing? Hi, I'm doing a little busy, but hello, welcome. I, there we go. Now it's out of the glare. There we go. Is that spacing a little better maybe? I don't know. Oh, we can't see the charm. I'm in the way. I'm in the way. Can't see the charm. Very important things here. We gotta arrange everything so that everything can be seen properly. There we go. There we go. But hello. Hello, how is it going? I guess we should say hi. We should say hi to everybody. Majestic Potato. First, welcome. Hello. The Q Honey Badger. Everybody's favorite Q. Lalo. Hello, welcome. VHS D2CT. Very nice. The Darkest Derp. Welcome. M82A1. Very nice. Almost as cool as the A2. Is it the M82 that has the A2, or is it the M107A2? I don't remember. I I don't remember. It's one of those. One of those two has an A2, and it's a bullpup in the weirdest way possible. As I literally have a computer. It's the M82A2. Okay, I was right. I was right the first time. And then I second guessed myself. S82. Yes, yes it is. But hello. How is everyone doing? Oh, Hacker, hello. I think I forgot to actually say hello. Glock 20 Gen 5. So today, I don't really have anything planned. But I'm sure that there is some stuff we can find to talk about. 10 mil, you'll take it. Almost as cool as the Glock 40. I think the 40 is the longer one. The 20 is the regular one. I think so. I think that's right. But I don't think there's been any new releases yet from Iwa that we haven't seen already. I guess TFB did a video on the Perun 47. I think we've already talked about that one. Did someone else do a video on it, or did we just see that it existed? 40 equals 34, 20 equals 17. Yeah, clearly. Clear the Glock 40 chambered in, obviously, 10 millimeter. The Glock 45 also, very obvious what the Glock 45 is chambered in. Obviously, it's chambered in 9 millimeter, not 45. So, very good Glock. Have we watched the video yet on the Perun X47? Or did we just watch the Perun like 416 knockoff one? I don't think we've watched this one yet. And I am a big fan of the Perun. I don't have one, but I like it. So we're gonna watch it.
Hey everyone, James Reeves, TFB TV. One
Hi,
of
James.
my favorite Slovenian manufacturers, technically the only one I can really think of right now. I guess you got RX.
Slovenian gun manufacturers. Tink. Arex. There must be other ones, right? Those are the two I know. We watched it, but you can't remember here. If here or in Gotcha's stream.
My second favorite Slovenian.
I know we watched the AR one. Because, like, 4 different tones of FDE.
Manufacturer with, I guess, my second or third or fourth favorite representative from Slovenia. Peter, we're talking about the Tink Arms Perun X47. We've talked about the Perun before.
I like the Rock and Lock. The Darkest Derp. The only ones you can never keep straight is the 31, 32, 33, 37, 38, 39. You know, they're 357 SIG and 45 gap in full-size compact, subcompact. But you can't care enough to remember which is which. We need to make, like, Glock flashcards. Make a Quizlet. We're gonna make a Quizlet for Glocks, for what they're chambered in, and if they're the full-size, compact, or subcompact. Was the Arex pistol originally Russian design? I don't think that's the Arex. I think that's... Oh no, I know the one you're thinking of, but I can't think of what it's called. It's gone. It's gone. PTR is importing a derivative of it, and there's another derivative being imported by someone else. Because the company split up because the people got angry at each other. Arsenal Strike 1, that's the one. Yeah, the Strike 1. So who's actually importing the Strike 1 right now? American Precision Firearms. And then there's the PTR, which they have... Yes, I'm 18-year-old. Stop asking me. The Archon, one of the... Stop! Oh my goodness, there's a pop-up at every page. So there's the Strike 1. Which is zooming in too much when I'm mousing over it. And then... So there were two main guys with the Strike 1 pistol, and they split up. One of them kept the name of the gun, and the other one didn't. And so they've got the Archon. And you can kind of see some similarities between the two. I need to get one of these at some point. But I don't know. I just haven't yet. They're cool. I don't want this one. That one's weird for some reason. For some reason, I don't like this one. I want this one. Really, I want this one. The Mark II. Because it has a threaded barrel. I wish it came in two-tone. I feel like this gun would look very good in two-tone. The Pro? You can get the Pro. I can get the Pro in two-tone. Oh, never mind. You only get two-tone orange. Which is disgusting. Why would anyone ever want two-tone orange? But low sights? I mean, they're just like a dovetailed in sight. You could probably get high sights from someone. I wish they had more information about it. They're probably compatible with someone's sights. I just don't know who. The Darkest Dirt, you recently got a post-sample converted 17 on the rental wall? Like a Glock 17 converted to an 18? It's hit more target carriers than any other rental already. That can't be a surprise, right?
Jackson Caffel just followed.
Jackson Caffel, hello, welcome. Thank you for the follow. You heard about that? You forgot which are the two gun names? Yeah, it's the PTR Archon and the Strike series, apparently. I would like to get one of these. I don't know why they like orange so much. Why do they keep putting orange on their gun? Weird choice. But there you go. APF Strike 1. They probably have other cool stuff too, but I don't know. Anybody want one of these? Any takers on that one? Oh my goodness. I've seen the double 1911, but holy engraving. That is thick. Goodness sakes. Strike 1 conversion to rifle. Chassis. Strike 1 chassis. For $800. It's a retirement gift. It's time for me to retire, chat. I'll take one. Double barrels. There we go. There's the regular one. I do think having one of these would be super cool. Absolutely unreasonable. And I don't know how much they cost. Yeah, okay, so I'm not going to be getting one of these. But they're neat. They're cool. It better come with a holster. For $6,800. And in stock. Oh, available on back order. Ew. What do you mean, ew? Dual caliber? Wait, but why? One barrel's in 45, the other's in 38 super. But why? And these guns are stupid to start with, and you're gonna put 45 in one and 38 in the other? Oh my goodness. Heck, you'd rather have a Kunin. Me too. There's a lot of things I would rather have. But if someone gifted one of these to me, that would be okay. What is the Armazeka? Expensive. Oh my goodness. Why is it so expensive? Hello? I've never even heard of this thing. Why? You can get in green. OD green. Oh, two-tone. Why? There's no way they're selling these, right? When you can get like one of the super fancy like CZs for a fraction of the price? Like you can get like the CZ teal or something for like half that price. Imagine what Cabot would charge. Yeah, just wait. Eventually Cabot will come out with a double 1911. PPL? PPL? What's PPL? Oh, am I stupid? High, strong possibility. Strong possibility. Just get two. I will not. I will not get two. Alright, back to the Perun video. Tell me about this gun that I probably can't get.
Before we dive into this, tell the audience, if they're not familiar with the Tink Perun, what is it?
Well, Tink Perun is a hybrid system that's trying to upgrade an existing AR-15 platform into 223 and 308 calibers. At the moment, this year, for the first time, we're presenting also in the caliber familiar with some other rifles, is the 762 by 39. This rifle gives us a quiet run for our money. We had a lot of, we used a lot of kits from other producers, and at the end, we decided we need to do something on our own.
I'm a big fan of Rock and Lock in the Perun.
Inline, the magazine, and catching all the proportions that are the same with the fabulous mechanism of
the Rock and Lock looks so
AK-47.
much better than the Stanag mag
that we nailed it
with the magwell.
So basically, as you see, everything the same as with the Perun modularity, the operating system. We need to produce our own bolt, of course, for this abomination of of a gun.
I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, somebody need to say it.
The abomination of a gun.
So this part, of course, is something between AR-15 and AR-10.
So I know on the original, the Perun X16, I believe, it just uses a standard AR bolt. So they gotta beef it up.
Also, this part was modified, so this is something you cannot produce anywhere else.
Peter, I would ask you this. Why would I get a Perun instead of just an AK-47?
I think that the
'Cause this is way
AK-47,
cooler.
We have a lot of in Europe. We have a lot of interest and people that like AK-47, but with a different system of working, using the cartridge that somebody prefer, and not having to deal with a long stroke
Piston operating system.
piston operating system, the harmonics of the
Right.
moving barrels and stuff like this.
There we
This is
go.
basically
Now
the
that is-
upgraded, if I'm a little bit cocky, upgraded AR-15 that works on
Sized a little better.
This caliber, the 762 by 39, basically.
Right. Yeah, so this is almost, and I remember this from our discussion last year, right? Like you're talking about almost a blend of AR, AK. You've got a piston operating system, but you've got a lot of AR components. In fact, I think, if I
Scar
remember
stock.
correctly, if I get like the 5.56 version of this, I just take an AR loader, kind of shave off the
Buffer tube tower.
Yeah, buffer tube tower, and then
The
I
bolt
pop it on
face looks a
there.
little thin. I don't think it's too bad. It's definitely not as bad as like the AR-15s that are just direct converted over to 7.62 by 39.
And there are some other parts interchangeability, like with the standard
Yes,
AR,
yes,
right?
of course. We are using the AR. You mean for this rifle or the classical Perun?
I mean, the classic.
The
And
classic.
then we
the
can
classic.
talk about the
Yeah,
difference.
the barrel is the AR-15 or AR-10 barrel. You have a gas chamber is also AR-15 bolt. Firing pin. We also said that all the wars are win and lost by logistics.
Yes.
And you don't need to be reliant on some small company from Slovenia. We know the AR-10 and AR-15 are most accessorizable and most sold rifles on the Western Hemisphere, so
Right.
you can get spare parts just about everywhere you want.
Right,
It'd be cool for one of these
all
modern
those
AK
wear
mag
components you
designs.
can replace
Somehow
with
incorporated
standard
a
AR.
bolt hold open. They'd interface with a Yugo bolt and hold open follower. I mean, you can get bolt hold open AK mags. Those do exist. Let's see. You can get just like replacement followers. Basically just sticks a piece up in front of the bolt to hold it back. They won't hold it open after taking out the mag. Yeah. That's the problem. You can get bolt hold open mags or followers, but as soon as you take out the mag, the bolt closes. Make it so those trip an actual hold open that doesn't close when the mag is removed. I mean, I think it'd be cool if someone did that. But then you're basically just going to have proprietary magazines almost. I guess what you could do is just make a AK receiver. Make an AK receiver that has a bolt hold open piece in it, but can also take just regular AK mags that just don't engage a bolt hold open. That'd probably be okay.
$15 parts.
Everything that goes inside, the drop-in triggers, safeties, mag releases, everything.
The X-47.
Early Yugos had a system that held it open, but they removed it because it was finicky and expensive. Yeah, so the adding in mechanics to the gun does make it more expensive. Because you're adding machine time and assembly time. Which I mean, once upon a time when AKs were a cheap gun, probably mattered more than it does now, when AKs are no longer the cheap gun. So, I don't know. It'd be neat. I'd be down for a bolt hold open AK.
7 is a different story, right? Because I mean, it's not a 5.56 gun, so obviously there's going to be a lot less parts interchangeability. What are we talking about for parts interchangeability here?
Not so much, except of the magazine. The trigger groups and everything are the same as in the AR-10. Also, the safeties. So again, interchangeability with the Western familiar components from AR-10 and AR-15 are complete, except the magazine. Everything else, except the bolt that we talked about, is again customizable by the owner's specifications or needs.
Sure, and it takes regular AK magazines.
Yeah, regular AK magazines.
What kind of accuracy can I expect out of this? Better than the AK?
For sure, the operating mechanisms allows you to get a much bigger, much smaller groups than the classical AK due to the harmonics, the barrel.
Barrel width.
The recoil that you have because you have a long mass going up and down. So I think the results would be with some respectable shooter or any shooter, if it goes from AK platform to this one, the results will be significantly better.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me about pricing and availability. Where's it going to be available, when, and how much is it going to cost?
Well, you have the label here. It says new on the EVA 2025. So this is the order size now. So
okay.
Everybody that wants to order,
they do have these on their website.
It was a little bit something that we did not advertise. We just put it as a new product.
You love to see a pistol version of this?
The EVA official site. This is the first presentation that you get.
Pistol? Why?
One, guys.
Hey, there we go. Okay.
They make factory SBRs of it. I don't think they make pistols, though.
Okay, and then U.S., probably tricky, maybe not going to get it in the U.S. What do you think?
If there will be interest, for sure. I'm not so sure about the legislation, but I think it should not be complicated because it's not AR-15.
Do they sell it here? This one is at least on their website. I don't know if you can order it, though. The standard, just like 5.56 and 308 ones, you can buy in the States. I don't know about this one.
AR-10, it's something different. If we can get a Perun, we can do this for sure.
Pricing, what's that going to be? Can you say? If you can't say it, it's okay. I just
2,400.
No, I would not know what would be the pricing across the ocean.
I would guess. I think the regular ones are like 2,100. So 2,400 for the one that's got a lot more proprietary parts. Makes sense.
No, but I mean, how about here?
We think it's going to be around 2,000 euros, but I would like to check with Tomasz and I can say that.
Yeah.
But the price range is, I think it's going to be up to 2,000 euros MSRP.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just leave it at that. Look, that's your rough. Don't hold them to that. You know, that's a kind of a rough estimate. That's fine. Look, I mean, that's what happens to these shows. Sometimes we're just winging it. Is there anything else you want to tell me about this platform before we close the video out?
If you're familiar with, if you check your video from last year and the year before, and you know everything about the classical Perun X16, no. But of course, the charging handle, even if you are a Kalash Phil, you can put it on the left side and charge it.
If you really want to do that to yourself.
This is the only thing that would add to it. Otherwise,
ambidextrous charging handle.
There's something wrong with those guys. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
you know those guys from Slovenia, the weirdos, Polenar.
Oh God, I hate those guys. I hope they don't show up. I really hope they don't show up this year. Okay. Hey, always
the
good
weirdos from Polenar.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We're bringing you more from EWA 2025.
When 7.62x39 was cheap, these types of guns made more sense. Now you just get it in 5.56 or 500. You're in luck. Because that's the version we can get. We can get that one, the 5.56 one. In all kinds of barrel lengths, 8.5 up to 18. Probably like a 12.5 would be a nice package. But the Perun X16 is available in the States. Make it take Galil mags. If this gun took Rock and Lock 5.56 mags, I would be all over it. The X47 with the slightly different shaped receiver just looks so good. It looks so good. Yeah, so there's the X47. You got the 308 version, the Chonky Boy. That's just a regular AR-15. Gross, no one cares. They got a Glock mag version, which is disgusting. It would be much less disgusting if it didn't take Glock mags. They need to remake this. Remake the receiver and probably the bolt. Take Colt mags, Uzi mags. This one would probably be pretty decent looking with a Scorpion mag in it. But not Glock mags. Glock mags, not in a Glock. Gross. X47. I like this one. I like this one a lot. It needs Rock and Lock 5.56 or 5.45, but I would rather buy 5.56. And they've got ARs. Very boring. Very boring ARs. What else do they do they have any other pages? Their homepage, you can scroll through guns. But hold on, since we mentioned Glock mags, Mechgar is making Glock mags. I saw this while stream was starting. So Mechgar is making metal Glock mags, which is very cool. So 18 round capacity, Glock 17 size mag. The new Staccato HD uses these magazines, I guess. Yeah, so metal Glock mags. I don't even know if these are for sale, because I literally saw that while stream was starting. But I want one. Oh, they are. Yeah, they are currently for sale. Oh, estimated in-stock date, mid-March. So they are theoretically going to be in stock. Glock mags with no over-insertion protection. Do you have trouble with over-insertion? I don't think I've ever had a problem with over-insertion on anything. Like, especially pistols, never had a problem with over insertion. But I probably will order a couple of those whenever they show up again. Because they have two different ones. They've got one with a Glock 19 base plate and one with a 17. So I guess it looks like there would be over insertion protection. So it'll hit that little rib on the 19 and just hit the floor plate on the 17. I guess. Heck, are you going to pick up a couple for your platypus? I need a couple. I need a couple for my Nada Glock and my Sub 2000. Will they be making 33 rounders? That probably depends on if they think there's a market for it. But the Glock 33 rounders, they're fine. I don't think that making the Glock 33 rounder out of metal does that provide any benefit that I just can't think of for some reason? Maybe. It does not provide looking better in a Glock PCC. Plastic Glock mags have the over insertion protection at the top of the mag. Why? I don't have any Glock branded mags here. We've got this not Glock Torque mag. We lock that back. I mean, this one I literally can't over insert, even if I hold the mag release down and slap it in. So I guess it's got over insertion protection. I guess it's that rib right there. I've never really thought about it. I've never considered Glock mag over insertion. Or any pistol mag over insertion, really. That's what allows for safely running big mags in smaller mag wells. I mean, and then it seems like Metgar is just doing with their base plate, because they have different base plates for the different grip lengths. You think it's mostly PCCs that have that problem? If you've got a Glock mag PCC, then don't. And I don't think I've ever gotten excited enough inserting a magazine to have ever over inserted a magazine. Well, apparently there's new versions of the Beretta straight pull rifle. All I really care about is I don't. All I really care about is I don't really care about it. I just want to know if
Beretta BRX
they're
one.
finally. That is very orange. Holy. So I guess they're finally coming with different furniture instead of just all coming with the black plastic. Not being able to do it is better than haven't yet. I mean, I guess so. It's never something that I've even considered being a threat to myself running again. Like I don't have as much trigger time as like a professional shooter or something. But I have shot many rounds through many guns. And I have never Hulk smashed a magazine into the magwell so hard that it's overinserted. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not even on my radar of consideration.
If you've been watching TFB TV for any amount of time, you followed the history of the BRX-1 because we have shot this gun when it was a prototype. We shot it whenever it became available on the European market, and then whenever it became available.
Tell me why these are cool and new.
The US release because it was so popular in Europe, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you're right. And the family is expanding, so that's the good news.
Why is that one so orange? That's like almost Hunter's orange. Wait, hold on. We've got a guy in Hunter's orange over here. It is Hunter's orange.
Concerning
This guy's wearing the color of this gun. I mean, I guess if it's a hunting rifle and you want it to be an orange, I guess.
in the developments on the BRX, we are working on both calibers and editions.
Almost like
what
it's
we call
meant for
editions.
something?
So on the
Meant
caliber
for hunting
side,
or
from
something?
the launch, so we launched the rifle with 3006, 308, 300 Win Max 6.5 Creedmoor, and the family is expanding to 243 and now 7 Remington Magnum. So, but also
Okay, so they've got two new caliber options.
so we are playing with different colors and version.
And
but
different
there is a
furniture.
specific edition to specific hunters.
Sure. So what do
Thanks
we have?
for
Just
service,
run us
Mr.
down the
Background
line.
color
this
reference.
Is what, just the standard BRX one?
Exactly. The
Yes,
launch
he
version,
provided
as
a
I
good
would call
service
it,
for this video.
Standard black polymers and blue barrels.
They should
and
pay him.
anodized receiver.
He was
And
a good
is this
extra.
one so my drunk uncle doesn't shoot me over Christmas when we're deer hunting? Is that what this
Exactly. No, well, that's for wild boar hunters here in Europe specifically. It comes with shorter barrels, iron sights, and orange polymers.
is? Interesting. So for hog hunting.
Yeah, hog hunting.
Oh,
yes. Yes.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I
So-
don't know very much about hunting, so I was like, oh, that's a thing then.
Yeah, well, yeah. You sometimes you need to be visible, let's say, and so that's why we brought this.
Don't people
this
just
version in.
wear, like,
so
orange
this one
clothing?
Is, I think more interesting for the U.S. consumer here. It has 308 only, 16 and 18.
Longer AR-10 mag? Camo for hunting in an orange grove. Clearly.
Inch version available. 10 round magazines. Also, you will find a Magpul magazine adapter inside the box with this particular.
Oh,
version.
so it's coming with this.
Yes.
Okay, because
Okay. Magpul magazine adapter? We can take AR-10 mags?
we saw the 3D printed prototype, and I said, oh my God, this is so cool, where it'll accept AR-10 magazines. And,
Yes.
and it was at the time, you guys
That
were
is-
sharing the plans.
that is
and you
neat.
could 3D
That's a
print
neat
it yourself at
conversion.
home. But now you're including one.
Yeah,
That's
we are
brilliant.
including in the box with this particular version here in 308 Magpul magazine adapter. So you will have to choose between our proprietary magazine, or you will extend the capacity up to 35.
Yeah,
whatever.
sure, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
For 308, and it's going to come with a threaded barrel, just
Threaded
like
barrel,
all BRX.
Who makes 35 round AR-10 mags? That's what, he said you can put a 35 round mag in it. What?
FA28.
Oh, perfect.
So US compliant, let's say.
Yeah, sure.
Also, we improved the texture on the polymers to make it more grabby, let's say.
Right, sure.
And also,
Aren't those
comes
AIC mags? No, the ones that come with it are proprietary. They're proprietary BRX1 magazines. But I guess now you get a conversion to take AR-10 mags, which is cool.
with a closed pistol grip, also which is interchangeable.
Right.
As well.
Okay.
So it's a complete and very small package, but it's again, it's called the Range Editions for a reason.
Do you know how much this one's going to cost in the U.S.?
It's gonna be $100 more than the standard.
That's it?
Yeah,
just
that's
$100.
it. That's it.
Yeah. So what are they selling for in the U.S. now?
$14.99 MAP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So
it
yeah,
will
street
be
price like
$15.99. Yeah.
Yeah,
around
yeah.
$15.99.
For MSRP. So
MSRP.
yeah, it'll be cheaper street price.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what's this one beneath it?
So here we have played with a version changing the coating on the metals, which is Cerakote,
Different color,
gray Cerakote.
two-tone.
And also on the polymers we apply
That looks like a Tika stock. Which I guess makes sense.
the Strata camo, which is a popular camo for hunting applications. But what's really new on this is the Cerakote coating, so more corrosion and scratch resistant.
Sure. So don't take this one when you're going boar hunting because your drunk buddies will shoot you. This one.
Hopefully not. but
Also,
the
don't go
pricing,
hunting with drunk
especially
people
let's say
in
studs,
general.
To it in full detail in this video because it's just
Alright, they come in different colors and 2 new calibers. Also AR-10 mag conversion. Got it. Pro mag. Pro mag apparently and unfortunately makes a 40 round. Hold on. Pro mag 40 round AR-10 mag. Huh? That doesn't look real. This looks like a Photoshop. It looks like somebody photoshopped 3 magazines together. And poorly. That's dumb. Why would they texture it like that? Knockout.
Knockout just subscribed for 39 months.
Knockout urge. Knockout. Thank you for the subscription. Hello, welcome. Very much appreciated. So you can cut it? Oh, wait, so okay, so this is a base plate cutout up here. So that's why it looks like it's 3 magazines photoshopped together. Because it kind of is. But why? If you want a shorter mag, just buy a shorter mag, right? Am I missing something here? Lines where you snap the candy bar. Apparently, that's actually kind of true. It's Pro Mag, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, so it literally is. So like you've got your 20 round like top part. It literally is just they took the 20 rounder and just like grafted more chunks onto it. That's so weird. What on earth? Why? Just why? Do they make mag clips that uses those seams? Pro mags generally garbage. Pro mags are generally garbage. Wait, this is the same thing. They just add sections to it. So you've got 20, 30, 40. They're just adding 10 round sections to it. And one mold, 3 options. If they're using the same mold, then they're molding all of them as this one and just cutting off the bottom of all of them, which is going to take either machine or manpower or both. And you've got materials waste. The mold might convert somehow? Maybe. It's so weird. It just grows. Also, this one's the cheapest. 30 round is the cheapest one. I'm so confused. Material waste is negligible versus different molds and operation lines. I guess that's true. Unless you're getting into just unreasonable quantities. But I don't think Pro Mag is. Why stop at 40? Why not 50 or 60? Yeah, if you can just graft on another 10 round section, then like, could I buy this? Can I buy 2 of these? Cut this one off right here and just like stick it on the bottom. And then you've got a 60 rounder. Their Saiga 12 mags also have this system. That's so weird. Why? Why? Curve gets long and spring. You can curve it all 180 degrees. Think about how much capacity you can get with just a little bit of curve and going 180 degrees around. So much capacity. And need a mag so long you can use it as a walking stick. Exactly. Hacker, you'd love to see one of these split at the seam? Like one of those super long AK mags? That's probably what would happen. Well, maybe not for the factory seams. But if I cut one of these off and stuck it on a different one, that's probably what would happen. Quad stack AR-10 mag? There's the quad stack AR-15 mag now. So maybe it's a matter of time. But you can get the desert tech. I don't want the quick view, I want the full view. The super wide mag. Back ordered. Multiple quad stack AR-15 mags. I think. Oh, do I have? I might have. I don't know where it would be. I might have a quad stack AK mag. I should try to find it sometime. Pro Mags are probably the same price or more than Magpul. Yes. Pro Mag are overpriced. How much does the mag cost? Do I want to know? Oh. Wait. They have a link to the page for the mag, but it doesn't exist. Got it. Okay. Good website. High quality. Why would anyone want to require the use of weird mags? I don't have any problem with that. I mean, it's just a proprietary part. You just gotta buy mags. I would rather more proprietary parts than less. I'm gonna be honest. And that includes mags. Like, as much as I like a Colt mag, or just like a standard Stanag pattern mag, I don't know, there's too much stagnation in the gun market for innovation, because everyone has to use interchangeable parts in magazines and stuff, and I don't like it. Do something innovative. Innovate that magazine. Trying to figure out how much do the magazines cost for the Quattro 15. I must not actually shoot a lot. Why? Why must I not shoot a lot? What? Are you saying I don't shoot a lot because I want people to innovate? Or because I want proprietary parts? I shoot significantly more than most people. If I don't appreciate mag compatibility. I don't. I don't appreciate mag compatibility. I think it is handy. And obviously, if you're going to be arming some kind of force, you want all your forces to have compatible mags. But also, I want companies to be able to innovate. If you have to always use the same compatible parts, you're stifling innovation. It's like I shoot a lot. But the thing about when I go shoot is I almost never take the same gun. I almost never take even the same platform shooting twice in a row. Like, I don't know. Like all the all the arguments, like all compatibility. Like, what if this breaks? Who cares? Just buy another one. Like, it's not literally the apocalypse. When the apocalypse gets here, like, yeah. Like, my SHTF rifle, it's probably just gonna be like an AR-15 with all the super generic parts. Super compatible with everything. But we're not there. So innovate. Define shoot a lot. Okay, well, recently I haven't. Recently I haven't. But disregarding the last few months, probably at least once a month. Which, if we're honest, some of you probably more. Probably shoot more than that. but that's also more than most people. More than once a year is more than most average gun owners. That is unfortunately true. But mag compatibility is something I absolutely don't care about. If I have a platform, I'll have enough mags for it to use, plus a couple extras. But until it's like actually the apocalypse and things are unattainable, if something breaks, I can just replace it. So like, if I'm like at a competition or something, and like a mag breaks, which mags don't break very often, then like I'll have an extra, and like afterwards I'll go home like, oh, time to order another one of those. Do I only do an hour session when I shoot? Oh goodness, no. I'll go to the range for a whole day, like at least 4 hours minimum. When I go to the range, I spend a long time because I'm taking a bunch of guns. So if I'm at the range and I have less than 4 guns, it's not me. It's not me. I always take at least 4 guns to the range. Shooting indoors on time limit is no fun. It is not. And shooting indoors in general is not the best. But if there's an indoor range that has a time limit, like, okay, here, you paid us your like $18 and here's an hour of range time. Honestly, I'll just go somewhere else. Like, I don't know. I would rather pay a little bit more for the actual range and just, okay, when you're done, come tell us. Now, the same for like bowling. If you go to a bowling alley and they charge you like by a time limit and not by like the number of games or something, it's awful. What if there's nowhere else? That's tough. That's unfortunate. Very bad. I feel like unless you're like out in the middle of podunk nowhere, like there's usually more than one range. And if you are on the, oh goodness, voice crack. If you are out in the middle of podunk nowhere, then you don't have to go to the indoor range. It'll be okay. You can go shoot on your property or someone else's property or public land. I don't know. Hacker, the indoor range you were a member at was only an hour, but it was one-on-one with an instructor in a private room. So every range trip was essentially a private shooting lesson. What kind of bougie like gun club was that? Holy. Every range session is a one-on-one private shooting lesson. That's crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Barring very specific situations, I would rather not have that. I would rather not have a private coach. If I mess something up, like if I'm pulling my shots, I want to figure out how to deal with myself. I don't want some stranger telling me what to do, analyzing my shooting. Just let me have fun. Sounds like a class. Yeah. A one-on-one private instruction. Now, if I'm getting private instruction from like Jerry Michalik, that'd be okay. I could deal with that, you know? That'd be cool. But on just like a regular trip to the range, I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to learn and be analyzed by someone. Sometimes I just want to go poke holes in paper, ring steel. Now, one-on-one instruction is for, I feel like, a specialized training or new shooters. New shooters, one-on-one training makes a lot of sense. But if you're a member at a gun range, I mean, you're clearly not a new shooter, right? Right? I would think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the outlier. You guys have to tell me. You have to tell me if I'm the outlier. Would you guys want private instruction for every single range trip? I wouldn't. Hacker, it was a lot of competition style. A lot of competition style drills with shot timer. Not for new shooters. I mean, but I can run my own shot timer. I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I am the outlier. That is fully possible. I just don't want that. Ferocious sometimes, but forced, no. Yeah. Gross. You don't want to shoot drills, you just want to shoot? Yeah, I mean, even if I'm gonna like shoot some kind of drill, if I'm gonna, I don't know, do some, even like a simple, like a Mozambique, like I don't know. I want to learn myself. I'm self-taught pretty much with honestly almost everything I know. That's just how that's how I learn. I teach myself stuff. I don't want someone looking over my back. That's gross. Most people would not want that unless asked. Yeah. I mean, but if I'm going to ask, I'm probably just going to ask like if I take someone shooting with me. Because I also usually don't go shooting alone. I'll usually invite someone to go shooting with me. Because socialization. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Shooting is like a social event. That's what I do when I touch grass. I go shooting and interact with people. I'm a regular social butterfly. I I am the guy at the range who will ask you about your weird gun. I am that guy. Just in case you guys don't like that guy, that's me. I'm the guy at the range who will ask you to talk about your stuff. Although I think I'm a pretty good gauge as whether or not people actually want to talk. If someone clearly doesn't want to talk, I clearly will leave them alone. But I don't know. I like when people talk to me at the range, so I'll talk to other people. I like sharing my weird stuff with people. and so I'm sure other people do too, right? Probably. If not, well, sucks for them. They can tell me no. Pet gun, the Rock Island, the Rem, head pat Rem, or the whole gun. We can do both. I'll give you both. And there you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. Layla, you going to sleep? Good night. Good night. See, stream? Oh, stream's only been an hour and a half. I guess I did start later than I was intending. So probably gonna end, or not end. We're not ending yet. Don't leave yet. We're not ending. But stream will probably be a little bit shorter than normal because I got started late. Alright, well. I swear, I already looked to see if any more stuff from Iwa had shown up, and nothing has. I'll be honest, chat, I don't know what to talk about. We've already talked about everything. So chat, what do you want to talk about? Since I have run out of things to talk about. Wait, there, what? The father of the Beretta 93? What kind of scopes do I use on rifles? LPVOs. So on here, on this one, I have the Swamp Fox Tomahawk. It says it right there. That's the 1-8 LPVO. LPVO's very good. Big fan of LPVO. Because you both get magnification. And also, they don't bother astigmatism. They're not affected by astigmatism. Big fan of that. So LPVOs are my go-to for magnification. On Honestly, the only thing larger than an LPVO that I have is going to be this one. That's the Vortex Viper PST. Big boy scope. That is, what is that, 5 or 6 to 25? 5 to 25. Testo long boy scope. Honestly, I have never shot that anywhere that has required a 25x. that is entirely ridiculous for anything I've ever shot when using that gun. But maybe I'll need it sometime. I don't think so, but it's possible. The most expensive scope I have, yeah, it's the Vortex Viper PST. That is an expensive scope. It's not as expensive as I remember, I'm gonna be honest. I remember it being more expensive. Okay, it's not actually that bad. For a scope, it's not bad. Oh, you know what? You know why I remember it being expensive? Because I bought it with a bunch of other stuff. I bought this together with the Vortex AMG, the holographic. So that's why I remember it being expensive, because I bought two things. Okay, so it's not that expensive. Very reasonable. I have the MOA one. For really touching out there. Yeah, for those like 300-yard shots that I make, it's it's really nice, you know. There are places I can go to shoot ELR. I should go sometime. See what I can actually do with that rifle. But instead, I can just like not do that. Just take it hunting in a lightly wooded area, in the trees and the brush. Clearly ideal for a 25x scope. That's what you're planning to do soon? Trademark? Yeah, I've been planning to try and do that for some time now. And instead, I have not done that. Long distance shooting seems fun, but that's like 750, not 1,000. The longest range I have shot at is 850. And that was not with this gun. That was with someone else's gun. Oh, I don't remember what was it chambered in? It was either 6.5 or 7 PRC. I don't remember which one. But that's the longest I've shot. The longest near you is 250. That's unfortunate. I mean, just make your own range, right? Just like find a nice straight highway. Just go off to the side a little bit, not very far, and you can just like see it long ways. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is not legal advice. 9-hole review has a cool vid about 6.5 PRC at 850. 9-hole. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. I probably recognize them. Oh yeah, I recognize that guy. This is the guy. This is the guy who does the practical accuracy stuff, right? Yeah, there it is. Practical accuracy with the Swedish rifle. Who's that? Who's this guy with him here?
This video is brought to you by Midway USA.
Antiquated firearm. He tells me I need more diversity in my collection.
The M1 Garand, did you get one?
Okay,
Is that Sato Hunt? Is that who that is? I missed the introduction.
Thank you. We are in Texas after all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into this episode of First Shots. This one,
Howdy, partner.
thank you. We are in Texas after all. This one's gonna be, this one's gonna be an interesting one. Because
Yeah.
Henry, for, basically all the time, I would say
Is that Sato Hunt? I think that's who that is. I haven't watched one of his videos in forever.
every day Henry tries to get me.
That's Josh, not Sato. Am I racist? Do all Asian people look the same? Henry's the Asian. Is this guy not even Asian? I can't tell. He's wearing sunglasses. Oh no, chat. Do all light brown people look the same?
Some sort of antique, some CNR,
Wait.
some sort of antiquated firearm. He tells me I need more diversity in my collection.
The M1 Garand, did you get one?
Okay, but
Swedish Mauser, did you get one?
I am not ashamed, Henry, that I am a man of practicality and utility. And so I have a really tough time with anything that doesn't fall.
Henry
into that
is from
bucket,
Hong Kong?
except
Okay.
in this case,
Okay.
I said, Henry, I've got an idea. I'm going to get a lever gun. And Henry got so excited, he got his cowboy attire. He told me all about the gun that run the West. And then I got a lever gun. Yes.
Gross. Ew. Gross. Gross. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch you shilling tactical lever guns. Henry from Hong Kong is more American than most Americans. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of American immigrants are more American than most Americans. Not all. But there's a lot. There's a lot of American immigrants that are more American than a lot of Americans. I am a big fan of legal immigrants. I've never met a legal immigrant who wasn't just the coolest person ever. They're so chill. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. Most of the illegal immigrants I've met have been super chill people. Like when I worked in food service, oh my goodness. Like the guys who need to get paid in cash. Super cool. Just deport everyone as they are children and make them immigrate back. Immigrate or deport all children. Make them go through the immigrant process so they're actually grateful. Honestly, it's not, that doesn't sound too bad. I don't, isn't there, most illegals you've met are very rude. Interesting. I guess the ones I've met have been like in a work environment, so I don't know. That's, maybe it's a bit different. It, like a work environment, specifically food service. So I don't know about other places. They get pissed that you don't speak Spanish. There were a lot of people who I knew in food service, who I worked with, who would pretend that they didn't speak English until they liked you. So if you were new, or if they just decided you weren't cool, they just would pretend that they couldn't hear you or couldn't understand you and couldn't speak to you. But as soon as you were chill, then they would talk to you. Which is, I think it's hilarious. It was very amusing. Atomic, you sell electronics? Oh, so you're dealing with like customers, like illegal immigrant customers, I'm guessing. And I've never had to deal much with illegal immigrant customers, because when I worked food service, it was in kind of a higher end part of town. And at a gun shop, well, if you have to deal with an illegal immigrant, you're basically just telling them we can't help you. And they just have to deal with that. But hold on, I found, because I was curious, because we were talking about it. Immigrants, they have to take a test, a civics test. So we're going to take one, because we're here. Because we're here and I don't know what else to do. We're going to take the American citizenship test. Atomic, you got into a one-sided screaming match because one didn't want to pay the 911 fee on a phone card? I would just tell him he couldn't have it. Which, I mean, is probably why the yelling started, so that's probably not helpful, huh? I don't know. I don't know. Don't know how to help you with that one. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And I've always been Like customer service, I'm very good at it. I am so good at customer service. Like at a gun shop, if someone gets like an ATF deny on their background check, my customer service is so good that like 9 times out of 10, like they'll still leave being happy. Customer service has made you hate old people. Yeah, old people are very difficult. I don't know why. I do know why. Some old people, not all old people, some old people are super entitled. It's wild. Like, oh my goodness. And particularly, like when an old guy walks into a gun shop. Like there'll be an old guy walk into a gun shop when it's busy, like peak business hours. Walk up to guy at gun counter, a worker at the gun counter, like who's literally working with a customer, and just like start talking to the gun shop worker, like while he's talking to someone else. Like people like that can't do anything about it. They're just going to be awful. Yeah. You swear some are illiterate? There are times you've had to read to them? In customer service? Like, it's not a gun shop. If someone at a gun shop, so say, right, I'm working the counter at a gun shop. If someone asks me to read something to them, I just say, if you can't read this, I can't sell you a gun. I'm not going to do it. I guess working at a gun shop, honestly, from a customer service perspective, is way better than like some other kind of retail. Because at a gun shop, you can just say like, I don't feel comfortable selling this to you. Go away. And there's literally nothing they can do about it. As long as you've got like a reasonable manager. One lady wanted you to read a manual to work a smartphone. Gross. That's awful. Blind people are perfectly capable and have every right to shooting at noises. You're right. You're right, they do. Blind people can perfectly legally own a gun. However, they have to bring in like witnesses, or there have to be witnesses that also sign off on the 4473. They have to have like the person to read it to them, witnesses to sign off on it and everything. Like, it's an ordeal. But yeah, blind people can legally own guns. Atomic, you've had a knife pulled on you once? I've had a gun pulled on me in a gun store. That's a fun story. It wasn't like someone like intentionally like trying to rob the gun store or something. but it was someone who is literally like 12 IQ. Like, I've got this gun here. Pulled it out of their holster, pointed it at me. Oh my goodness, I have never hit someone. I took that gun away from them so fast. Oh my goodness. I honestly, complete like knee-jerk reaction. This guy was also caught very off guard. This guy had no idea what happened. And then I had to tell him the rules of gun safety. And spoiler alert, he did not get to buy anything that day. he did not get to buy anything. Would have been perfectly reasonable to call the police, but the guy wasn't being malicious. He was just mentally handicapped, not diagnosed. What do you mean I can't take out my gun? You can, but you don't whip it out and point it at me. You don't like. I get if you're in a gun shop and you want to take out your gun for some reason, like you want to show like the gun store worker, like, hey, I'm looking for something kind of like what I'm carrying, or like, hey, I'm looking for a new holster for this, like some reason you want to take your gun out of your holster, but also like don't want to just go outside and like put it in a box and then just bring it back in. Like, be like, got my gun in a holster here. Like, can you pull it out? Can I pull it out? Like, oh my goodness. Communication, people. Ask, do so with deliberate slow speed. Exactly. Like, oh my goodness. People are crazy. That specific guy was crazy. Yeah, there's you see some crazy people, crazy people working at a gun store, and then you don't sell them guns. Which is something that I think a lot of people don't understand. Like a lot of people not in the gun space, a lot of anti-guns people specifically, think that like any crazy person can like walk into a gun store and be like just crazy and like buy a gun. But if someone crazy is trying to buy a gun, they're gonna get told no. Like if for no other reason, then like even if the guy doesn't actually care, if the business doesn't even actually care about whether or not crazy people have guns, then as a business, you still tell them no to protect your business from the ATF. Because if somebody buys a gun at your store and does something malicious with it, do you want to know the first place that they're going to come to? It's the place where they bought the gun. But even besides that, most people at a gun store won't sell a crazy person a gun just because they don't want crazy people to have guns like everyone else. You've had something like that at where you work? You've had crazy people where you work? Yeah, there there are many stories I can say from working at a gun shop. Sovereign citizens, oh, I had to deal with a few sovereign citizens at a gun store. That's fun. Those people are, oh my, insane. Atomic, you wish you could deny service? Being able to deny service is beautiful. Mauerkali, you haven't had that? You haven't had a sovereign citizen? Oh, consider yourself blessed. Those guys, oh my goodness. It's only been like only three. Like they're coming like, I don't want to take a background check. I didn't consent to a background check. Like, okay. If you don't consent to this background check, you don't get the gun. Like, this is a business. We have to do the 4473 or the business goes out of business. So, scram. I'm sorry, we don't have a license to export to your country. That's a good one. That's a good one. Specifically when resale people come in, dealing with Indian customer service rep IRL. Not ideal. How many people have asked they can go ahead and buy it and have it shipped overseas? Me? I've not seen that very much. It's happened a couple times. Like there have been people from like, it's the Middle East. Every time it's been the Middle East. Like someone who's like here from like Dubai or something. Like, yes, money is not an issue. Ship this home for me. Who do you think I am? I wish I could take the money is not an issue kind of money. Trust me. Trust me, I would love to. But my man, it's not legal. If you have enough money, you don't really think about whether or not it's legal. If the only penalty for something is a fine, then if you're rich, it doesn't matter. There has to be a legal route. I mean, I haven't done it. I have never been an exporter of firearms. Even though I think that would be kind of neat. If for no other reason than just to like get some experience and see how it works. Probably long and a lot of waiting. I don't actually know what the process is for exporting guns. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't know what it is. I've never done it. I know that there is a process. And you have to deal with both this country and the country of wherever you're sending it to. I guess I know a guy who's exported guns for like safari hunting. I've never really asked him about it because that's not really my wheelhouse. I guess I could ask him. Operation Fast and Furious. Well, if you're exporting guns as the government, then it doesn't matter. You just hand them to literally anybody. Be like, okay, go across the border. Difference between for hunt and for permanent stay in another country, that is true as well. Yeah, the guy I know is taking them for temporary leave. Temporarily leaving the country. But oh my goodness, that guy. I don't know what he did. He's an older guy. I don't know what he did before he retired. Oh, yes, I do, actually. I take that back. I do know what he did before he retired. But he's got a lot of money. He's got, like, the super bougie, like, double barrel, like, weird elephant cartridges. Like, $150 every pull of the trigger kind of stuff. Atomic, you're off to bed. Need to get some sleep to deal with pre-walking corpses in the morning. Deal with pre-walking corpses? Are you resurrecting them? You have to deal with them before they're walking? Old people. Ah. Old people are very difficult. Good luck. I wish you the best. He safari hunts in Africa? Yeah, that's what he does. He also does like the America safari hunts. Of like elk and like he goes to those places that'll like import animals for people to hunt. Which is super strange to me. That might just be because it's super strange in general. But that always seemed strange to me. There's a joke that your janitor is a necromancer. And get on that guy's good side. He might be able to help you out in the future. Never know when a necromancer might come in handy. Import to hunt seems not exactly your kind of idea of a hunt. Yeah. I don't understand it. It is crazy to me. But there's places that do it. Like import like some like exotic like some horned animal of some kind and like they'll put him out on a ranch and you pay him a whole boatload of money and they'll take you out to the ranch and they're like, there it is, shoot it. Oh, okay. Sure, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't seem like a very sporting kind of hunt, but I don't know, there are places like that that do put a lot of money towards various like wildlife conservation efforts. Because the hunters I know are some of the like most like pro conservation people I know, honestly. Like no one is more pro conservation than someone with at least room temperature IQ who like their main hobby requires healthy wildlife. Which is neat. Neat. I'm not a big hunter. I'll hunt. But I don't take a vacation specifically to hunt. seems to be the case of most of the hunter guys you've met. It's true. But it's also one of those things that the media, there's always the media. The media's like, no, these guys bad. But they're not. The hunters just want cheap meat. I mean, there definitely are those people as well. But I feel like the majority aren't like that, I think. You can be both. That is true. You can be both. I mean, you can't get cheap meat if the meat goes away, so. I should go hunting again sometime. Probably just hogs. I need to go hog hunting. They're invasive. So you can just hunt them whenever and wherever you want. As long as it's not like in city limits. Getting rid of invasive species. Very good. Very good for the environment. Hog hunts, fantastic for the environment. Because hogs just destroy everything. Including you, if they get a chance. Hogs are awful. And that is why I recommend taking something like this. Or larger, preferably. Something that you can pull the trigger multiple times on if you're going to go hog hunting. Because those things are mean. And a hog will maul you for fun. Malrakali, you're wanting to hog hunt locally with a lever gun. You don't get too many of them mad at you at the same time. You can find quite a few videos of people being charged by one or multiple hogs. And there's crazy people out there hunting them with like knives. I would never. I would never. Actual just insanity. You also want to deer hunt with the same lever. Lever guns are super popular for deer hunting. Particularly like a 30-30 or something. A lot of people use 30-30 or 45-70 even for deer hunting. Depends on what kind of deer, I think. You want to be wild? 357 lever is your want? If I got a lever gun, it would probably be in 357. Like a nice like Winchester lever gun. A kind of classic Old West kind of style lever gun. In 357. If I was going to get a lever rifle, that's what it'd be. Rossi? No. No. I want something nicer than a Rossi. Like an 1873 Winchester 1873 with the octagon barrel. They're expensive though, which is why I don't have one. See, something like that. Something like that. Like a nice, if I'm gonna get a lever gun, it's gonna be like a nice one. Like a case hardened, the octagon barrel. Very nice. If it's not like a nice old school lever action, don't care. Don't want it. Would personally look at a Henry or the new Smith & Wessons. The new Smith & Wessons are okay. So a Marlin. The new Smith & Wessons and Marlins are pretty similar. Marlins are not easy to come by in your area. You just order it online. Just buy one online, easy. Yeah, the reason I don't have a lever rifle, because if I got one, it'd have to be a really nice one. Because I'm picky. Oh, California? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I understand. California. Some places, honestly, some places just refuse to ship to California because it's such a disaster. Which, honestly can't blame them. You gotta get out. You gotta escape California. What's worse, you work behind a gun counter in California. I'm so sorry. Does California still have that like the super weird like ammo stuff? Where there's like a wait time to buy ammo or something? Or was it a background check to get ammo? I don't remember. There was something weird about California and ammo. Background check for ammo? That's crazy. But did you know? Did you know that if you live in California and you drive out of the state, you can buy ammo? And they don't even ask. I mean, they check to see how old you are. Usually. And then you can just drive it right back in. Although I think that's illegal. I think you're not supposed to do that. But you can. Don't do that though, if it's illegal. You can't bring it back into California. You can't let them know you brought it back into California. Is what you meant to say. To some extent you can. I know there was some, I never followed it, but I remember at some point there was some lawsuit of some Olympic shooter in California who sued California about bringing ammo back into the state. Waiting period for ammo if you don't own a gun. Huh? Why would you need a waiting period if you don't own a gun? What are you going to do with the ammo if you don't have a gun? Who cares? Oh, California makes me suffer. First of all, lower your voice memes come to mind. Yeah. A crime of possession is not a real crime. Oh, this? It's been in my trunk for months. I should probably put it away when I get home. Exactly. But then California, there's probably some ammo transportation regulations or something. Crazy. Actually, hold on. Because this is something I was looking at recently. The California Assembly Bill 1486? No, it's not 1486. Oh, which one is it? Oh no. California Assembly Bill 1486. I'm pretty sure that's right. 1989, was it? That's the one. Because I was looking at this recently. Regarding duty to retreat, that is not the one I was looking at. So this one, so this is one of the old California assault weapons bans. So assault weapons, this is California. It's following the following designated semi-automatic firearms. All AK series, but not limited to the following. So they limit AK series, and they limit some other series. But there's some of these that they limited specifically models. They limited specific models. And so, if you know Calico, you will know that Calico doesn't use the M900 designation, M900 or M950 designations on their guns anymore. After California passed this in 1989, in 1990, Calico was like, hey, we're coming out with a new model. We're going to discontinue the M900, because at the time Calico was in California. So Calico was like, we're discontinuing this. And they came out with their Liberty Series rifle. And do you know what's not banned on here? The Calico Liberty. So this law banned the specific model. So Calico did a pro gamer move. And they were like, okay, this gun is now called the Liberty 3. I guess this one. This one is now called the Liberty 3. This one is called the Liberty 1. By rifle configuration, it'll still be banned. Yeah, so like a year later, California did a different assault weapons ban and banned by features and stuff. But this one specifically, banned by model number. And so Calico was just like, okay, Well, then we'll just call it something else and keep selling it. Oh, excuse me. Hit the mic. And then California's like, wait, you can't do that. And then they couldn't do that. But that was hilarious. California did realize the mistake that had happened. But, I don't know, funny story. And then in 1994, there was the assault weapons ban that effectively made every selling point of the Calico useless. And they went into hibernation until 2004. There's no logic in California. Yeah, there's not. Okay, so earlier, I pulled up this test, the U.S. citizenship test, because I was curious to see whether or not I could pass it. It's just a sample test. They didn't recognize their mistake. They're still banning arms protected by the two. Okay, they didn't recognize their mistake of violating the Second Amendment. They recognized their mistake of failure to break the Second Amendment. And they realized it was not effective and made things worse. From their perspective, they recognize their mistake. There you go. Is that better? All right, let's see how we do.
How old do citizens have to be to vote for president?
Practice saying the answer out loud. I'm gonna be honest, chat. I don't know the answer to this question. Is it 34? 27? 25? 25. Oh, to vote. I thought it was to run for president. I failed, guys. It's 18. I know how old you have to be to vote. I don't know how old you have to be to run. Okay, failed the listening comprehension part. Take away his citizenship.
What are the two major political parties in the United States?
Disappointments is what they are. Ask George Washington. They're both disappointments. It's Democrat and Republican, though. Checks and balances.
Name one state that borders Canada.
Only one? Idaho. Easy. See, how many are there? There's Washington, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota. Michigan doesn't count. Oregon does not border Canada. Kind of what? No. What part of Oregon borders Canada? Oh, Florida. What? Michigan? Does Michigan count? It's touching water, though. Why are there party questions in the citizenship test? I'd see. Clearly Texas. Man. Even if you didn't know that New Hampshire bordered Canada, you would at least know the others weren't even close, right? Crazy. All the states border Canada. Even completely United States landlocked ones like Kansas.
When was the Declaration of Independence adopted?
Oh, Alaska too. We kind of got to the Great Lakes and then stopped. 1776. Oh, not the whole date? July 4th, 1776. $1775? No, what do you mean 1775? Mods, take this man's citizenship.
What did the Declaration of Independence do?
Well, I wonder what the Declaration of Independence does. That the trick question. The trick question, chat. Said the United States is free. Declared independence.
What are 2 ways that Americans can participate in their democracy?
Participate in democracy. I mean, there's like 4,000 different kinds of voting. Voting. Cheebit, hello, welcome. I guess you've been here for at least a bit. I forgot to say hello. Hello. Vote and petitions? I guess so. Vote in primaries and the main elections. But specifically participating in democracy? Do you mean participating in the republic process? Oh, running, you're right. Running for office is part of the democratic process. Eat at a restaurant and apply for a job. Clearly that is the one. Drive a car, join a political party, and write to a newspaper. But writing to a newspaper isn't specific to democracy, though. That's just freedom of speech, right? I mean, clearly this is the answer. But writing a letter to a newspaper? That's not specific. Like, theoretically, you could do that in some other form of political power. Media is a huge form of politics. Yeah. But, like, this is specific to democracy. That's just a freedom of speech. Oh well. We're getting into semantics here.
Who is in charge of the executive branch?
Oh, I know this one. It's the Orange Man. Easy. He's not very orange, is he? He's not very orange anymore. Kind of disappointing. The justices of the Supreme Court? No, wrong branch. Wrong branch. Next.
What is the capital of the United States?
U.S. are the capitals of the United States. Easy. Got it. Florida. Florida is the capital of the United States. Yeah, U.S. is the capitals of the United States.
Who was president during World War I?
Oh no, chat. Oh no. Hold on. George Washington, clearly. Was it Eisenhower? Woodrow Wilson. Eisenhower was after World War II. I tried my best. That's the only one who makes sense. Who said George Washington? Rex Toronis? You got it.
Who was the first president?
Oh, easy. Jesus Christ. It wasn't Ulysses. It was not Ulysses S. Grant. All right, easy. Easy. Aced this test. We didn't ace listening comprehension, but we got all the questions right. You suppose I can keep my citizenship? That's good. I want to see him try and take it away. I don't. I don't want to see that. Please don't. I would rather not. I forget what we were talking about. What were we talking about before I took that test? I don't remember.
More Akali just cheered 500 bits. Service guarantees citizenship.
Thank you. Thank you for the 500 bits. Service guarantees citizenship. That is actually one way to get citizenship. Actually, that's true for most countries, isn't it? I know in some countries like South Korea, it's not only a way to get citizenship, it is the only way to get citizenship. But thank you. Thank you for the 500 biddies. Very much appreciated. Mao. Mao. All right. I've had this video pulled up for a while. The Beretta 951A.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another.
The father, maybe the grandfather of the Beretta 93.
Video on ForgottenWeapons.com.
The Rafika.
I'm Ian McCullum, and I'm here today at B&T in Thun, Switzerland, taking a look at some of the cool guns out of their reference collection. Today, we have a Beretta 951A.
I do have
is
just the Beretta
the
950.
automatic version of the Beretta Model 51. This came about in development not
The
that long
OG
after
Rafiki,
the
it
Beretta
is.
51 was developed. The 51 was a fairly successful pistol, actually. You can, if you're not familiar with the 51, this is essentially
Oh,
the
look at those
locking
finger
system of the
grooves.
Beretta 92, but it is in a single stack, single action only design. So introduced in 51, it was used by the Italian military completely. It was also sold fairly extensively in North Africa. So the Egyptians or the United Arab Republic, depending on what time frame you're talking about, they actually bought some and licensed production of it. And so this was popular enough that it leads Beretta to
wooden
work on a
grip
full auto machine pistol version. This
Ooh.
wasn't their first machine pistol. They actually made full auto versions of the Beretta 1923, which was also offered with a shoulder stock. Someday, hopefully, I'll find one of those pistols and we'll do a video on it. But what they did with this is make a number of significant modifications to the gun in an effort to reduce the cyclic rate and keep it reasonably controllable. So obviously, you can see the front grip. This is actually a folding front grip. In fact, you know what? Why don't we just zoom in right now and let me show you what
very
they changed
curious
on
how
this from
they
a regular 51. All right, let's start
slowed
with
the fire rate.
big elephant in the room, and that is this wooden front grip. That is attached to the front end of the frame, of course. We'll take this apart in a minute and you'll see that a little more clearly. But it does fold up so that in theory, you could put this in a holster. It would be kind of a large holster, but you could do it.
It wouldn't be that large of a holster.
There is nothing
like people carry lights bigger than that.
Holding this in place other than friction. So when you're shooting, I think you would put your thumb behind it like that, and that'll keep it from folding. So folding is really not a problem. You're going to be pushing out on this front grip pretty substantially when you're shooting. There's our serial number, A00078.
Number 78.
I suspect the Z is full auto. A is the serial number range on these, the 951As.
Looks about the size of a
Only number
Viridian
78 made. These never
XL5.
really went into massive
Yeah, it looks about the size of
production. They didn't get
the size of a
any
light.
contracts for them. Now, this is where the selector switch is supposed to be. Unfortunately, a while back, in order to comply with Swiss gun laws, this one was down converted to semi-auto. So the switch is gone.
Oh. No, it's semi-auto. It's a full auto semi-auto. Or a semi-auto full auto. That's so sad. I hope it still has the rate reducer in it.
But you can see it had an automatic and a semi-automatic selection. It's a very simple little lever. We'll take a look at it inside in a moment. There are our original Italian proof marks. And here on the left side of the slide, we have pistol,
not the
automatic
importation
Beretta caliber
exportation
9mm.
restrictions.
The AUT dot is the most substantial
Very
portion
sad.
there. This is the automatic Beretta pistol. The magazine release on the 951 is here at the bottom of the grip, like some of the early Model 92s. Standard is an 8-round magazine. This was also made with, well, they made 10-round, 15-round, and 20-round
Peak
magazines
ergonomics.
for it,
Wedge
but
your
all of them
thumb
are
in there so it
single-stack
can't
mags,
fold.
So the extended mags got pretty...
Probably not comfortable, but very effective.
Let's go ahead and disassemble this.
I think most people would be
Forward.
very
Slide assembly comes
motivated
off.
to not get their finger crushed.
And pull out a non-captive recoil spring, and we have the wedge. There we go. We have a wedge locking block, pivoting locking wedge right there. This is the exact same mechanism that Beretta would use on the 92. So it's also the mechanism from the Walther P38, by the way. So the Beretta 51 is essentially, you could look at it as the hybrid of the Walther P38 and the Beretta 92. So aside from that big wooden front grip, one of the other most substantial changes to the gun is in the slide here. The overall weight of the moving parts has been increased by about 12 ounces, which is really
That
quite
is significant.
Over the standard Beretta 51.
It is a
So this comes
beefy
in at
looking slide now
46
that he mentions
ounces
it.
total. The barrel is about 4/10 of an inch longer than a standard Beretta 51 barrel. This is all done to increase the weight, or the mass, of the moving parts to help reduce the rate of fire. Machine pistols always have a quite high rate of fire. This brought the rate of fire down to about 750 rounds, or just slightly more.
Oh, 750?
Now I'm going to take off.
750 for a
panels.
machine pistol is pretty controllable. Although it only has 8 rounds. So
All right. There we go. The safety, by the way, is this cross bolt affair right up here. That's fire, that's safe. So the way that this normally works as a semi-auto pistol is you have this bar here, and if this is pushed downward, and you can see this lug at the top is just underneath the slide rails, and there's a little cutout in the slide right there. So when the slide is in battery, ready to fire, this bar pushes up under spring tension, and then when you pull the trigger, it's going to push back on the sear here and fire. Ignore the fact that the hammer is not dropping for the moment. I'll explain that. When the gun cycles, this gets pushed down. So if I pull the trigger back and hold it, this gets pushed down when the slide cycles.
I just release the hammer.
The trigger bar is disconnected from the sear back in here. And so I have to release the trigger in order to fire again. Release it, and that's how you function in semi-auto. Now what the full auto selector lever here did was push this all the way down so that now it's engaging on this lower section of the sear, and it doesn't care where the slide's going. As long as I hold the trigger down, the hammer is going to drop every time the slide goes forward. Now the second part of any professional full auto mechanism is some sort of auto disconnect. The idea is we don't want the hammer to just follow the slide home, because then you are likely to get a variety of malfunctions. Instead, you want the hammer to stay back until the slide has just closed, essentially simulate very fast semi-auto fire. And so they added a full auto disconnect
Super semi-auto
on the left side of the gun. So if I push this down, you'll see the hammer just snap up a tiny bit. There it is. That would normally be, if I were in full auto and holding the trigger, that would release the hammer to go all the way back. This is the same as a full auto disconnect in any rifle. And it is operated by this little ramp right here. So this cutout in the slide,
that's a super simple system,
is
actually.
cycling back and forth over that little point, and it doesn't touch it until the slide comes all the way forward. In fact, I can show that to you. So the slide is going to come all the way forward till right here it's going to trip the disconnector. Click, click, just like that. All right, I'm going to pull the screws out here so we can take off this wooden front grip. It's actually two pieces.
Not the super semi-auto revolving
side.
pump pistol assault
And
launcher.
you can see the steel lug that goes underneath. So there's just a spring right in there that's going to snap into one of two
giant detent
ball sockets, and that's what keeps it in position. And here it just wraps
get a
around the
socket.
trigger card.
How big does a
All right, and there
detent
you
need to
go.
be
There
before
is
it
the
becomes a
Beretta
socket?
951A all disassembled. It should probably come as a surprise to basically nobody that this wasn't really a successful practical gun. And
Chad, how do we feel about 8 rounds of full auto pistol? Very useful.
it was shelved for a while. The magazine capacity, especially being limited to single stack magazines, yes, they made mags up to 20 rounds, but that's a long stick hanging out the bottom of this.
Oh, a 20 round single stack mag? I need one. Where do I get that? I need that for my 950.
Not super practical. The rate of fire was in excess of 750 rounds a minute, which is actually not that bad by machine pistol standards, but especially with that very heavy slide banging back and forth, I suspect the muzzle climb on this was pretty substantial. And they essentially had no clients for it in that initial guise. Now, in the early 1970s, the project makes a comeback. They bring back the 951A and they redesignate it the 951R. You may be thinking Beretta 93R? Yeah, it's the same idea, Rafale or Rafika.
This is the grandfather
fast firing model
to the 93
now,
Rafika.
The second version had a couple minor differences, like the 951Rs had a fixed front grip. It didn't fold at all, and that was in theory to help force people to hold on to the front grip vertically to keep the gun stable. They were apparently only offered with 10-round extended magazines, and 10 rounds at 750 rounds a minute is a very short rate of fire, very short available amount of fire.
That is not a lot.
That was in theory to force fire discipline, but to my mind, if you're going to force fire discipline like that, the better way to do it is limit the pistol to semi-auto and just issue a regular Beretta 51.
Semi-auto or
at any rate,
burst. You could limit it to burst, like the VP70, the burst version.
The 951R was not ultimately any more successful than the 951A. In about 1975, Beretta switches tack. They dropped this project entirely, and they moved to experimenting with a full auto version of the Beretta 92 platform. That one you're definitely familiar with, because the result of that project was the Beretta 93R, which was successful insofar as a bunch of them were manufactured, and they're theoretically reasonably shootable. They come with a folding front grip and also a detachable folding stock, and the stock really helps in keeping them controllable. The
Burst be much more
951A
complicated.
here
Oh yeah,
suffers from
burst
basically
mechanisms.
all the standard issues
Very
you get with a
complicated.
machine pistol.
Is making a burst mechanism inside the area that you have inside a pistol, probably pretty difficult. Even the VP70 pistol that has burst, the burst mechanism is in the stock. It's not even in the pistol.
Pistol. They sound really cool. They look awesome. If you get them demoed by someone who's done a lot of practice on the range, they can look super operator, super impressive, but you put them into the hands of actual people who are going to theoretically use them, typically police.
I want one.
They don't train with them that much because they have a lot of other stuff to do. They don't generally develop the skills
I want
to
to know
be
how
able to
well I can handle it.
manage an automatic machine pistol, and the results are less beneficial than just semi-autos. So that's kind of like that's the basic story of every machine pistol ever developed. That's the Glock 18. That's
I'll be honest, I've never shot a machine
951,
pistol.
the Beretta
I need
93,
to.
The CZ75 automatic, etc., etc. Anyway, these are extremely rare because, well, they never went into actual
Pretty simple 2-round burst systems.
Well, they went into
Anything
serial
more than that,
production,
not
but they
so
never
much.
had any major contract.
I need a 7-round burst system, please. That'd be awful.
The way most of the other machine pistols that we're aware of did. So a big thanks to B&T for giving me access to this one to show to you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.
That's cool. The grandfather of the Rafika. Your name gives me a stroke whenever I try to read the whole thing, every time. Mauer Kali. Have a good sleep. Good night. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out, and for the bits again. Very much appreciated. What time is it? Oh, it's already after midnight. I might be ending here pretty soon. I started a little later than I wanted, and I have to get up earlier than I want to in the morning. So, oh, I'm yawning. I'm yawning. All right, chat. I'm getting pretty tired. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very tired. We might call the stream a little earlier today. It's only been almost 3 hours. But I am very tired, and also I think my air conditioning is not working because I am dying. I think it's like 85 degrees. So I need to figure that out before I go to bed. We will be back tomorrow, though. Return tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the last stream before San Antonio trip. So, tomorrow, last stream before San Antonio. I also need to actually finish getting ready to go to San Antonio. Preparation for a trip, it's overrated. But yeah, so tomorrow, chatting, hanging out. I'll be honest, I don't really have a plan for tomorrow. I should come up with more of a plan than I had today, because today was a little bit rambly. I felt like I was kind of running out of stuff to talk about. So thank you, chat, for carrying that, for sure. But we are going to raid out. Imagine needing AC. It was snowing. It was like 85 degrees today outside. Man. It'd be nice if it was a little cooler. It's still too early in the year to be this warm. But we are going to raid out. So, if anyone has any suggestions... Oh, wait, hold on. I know who we're going to raid. But they're currently playing Destiny, which is a little cringe. That's okay. Not was, actually. It currently is snowing there. It currently is snowing there. I'm so sorry. My deepest condolences. You're probably going to deal with that in the morning. But I will be back tomorrow. So until then, I will see y'all later. Tomorrow's stream is at normal time, I think. What time does my schedule say I'm supposed to be streaming tomorrow? 8. Stream at 8 p.m. tomorrow, Central Time. But, yes, we use but here. Big fan of but. So, stream tomorrow. And then San Antonio trip, which I will vlog as a VTuber somehow. I need to figure that out in the next 2 days. Can we get an exclamation but counter? Maybe. Solid. Operator Grizz. Oh my goodness. Now we gotta... I was just getting ready to end stream. Now we gotta stay here for another 4 hours. Hello, Operator Grizz. Welcome. And welcome, Raiders. How are you doing? How was stream? What were you playing? Actually, I know what you're playing. I can still see you on the side. You were playing Arma. Which I think I saw you playing Arma like yesterday or something. You're in a troop transport vehicle, shooting at someone in the woods. Arma Reforger. Russians invading North Carolina woods. That doesn't seem like it would go well for the Russians. Been having a blast? Well worth money? Maybe. I have to wait to buy anything until at least after this weekend, because I'm going to the Demo Ranch gun sale. The Demo Ranch retirement gun sale. Sponsored by chat. So, gonna have to. I am gonna vlog that somehow as a VTuber. So, we'll see how that goes. You gotta get some sleep, but have fun, gamer. That is okay. We were about to raid when you raided. So I unfortunately also have to wake up much earlier than I want to tomorrow. Luck one is cat. Luckiness cat. thank you for the 1 bit. Much appreciated. You love the rem grip. Thank you. I also love the rem grip. Now we can head pat rem on the gun. There is also ram on the other side, but rem is better. But unfortunately, we are gonna have to raid out because as much as I wish I could continue for another 4 hours with the raid, I do have to wake up much earlier than I want to today. And then the day after that as well, to go to San Antonio. So, we are going to raid out, even though we just got raided. So thank you for the raid. We're raiding out. I will be back tomorrow, a little bit earlier than tonight. Tomorrow at 8 Central, maybe earlier if I can manage it, since it's the last stream before trip. But now we get to say bye again. So, not the BAFTA. Goodbye. Luck. Goodbye. Operator Grizz. Goodbye. Denjo. Goodbye. Welcome to the raid train. Majestic Potato. Chibit. Mauer Collie. I think you already left. But. We're driving up the butt counter. I will see you all next time. So until then, I'm going to be here pretty soon. So good night. Thank you all for stopping by, hanging out, absolutely carrying stream, because streamer wasn't doing well today at carrying stream. Thank you for the bits, the everything you do here. I will see you all tomorrow.